So the next example here, so this one was just showing you that you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 things to factor. Just factor each one. Like I said, each one is, you're getting marks for it. So the work you're putting into each one, you're getting marks. That's good. Then you're canceling, writing what's left over. Make sure you clean up. Right, so I want that simplified, so squared, not 2 brackets. It's not like wrong, it's just better form this way. And then you've got your, these ones, we used to make you list it from smallest to biggest. I don't care, I will find them. If you can find all of those beautiful restrictions, I will find them. So I would look for each one. Okay, so do that. Then we're gonna do it again. And this example is looking at P's and Q's. So what happens if we have more than one variable? So we've done trinomials with more than one variable. We're going to just grab this. Either it's on rough paper or on the side of your page, right? And I'll always give you rough paper. You can do stuff on the rough. I'm going to do this over here. And I'm going to use this side for rough, and I'll solve it over here. Okay, so you have rough or you have this. Let's grab and say 21. So if you want, you can sort of factor as you're bringing it over here. Let me see this for a second, though. Okay, I've got p squareds on the right. I just want to make sure they're in the right order, and I can fix that later. But p squared and q's. Okay, that's not bad. So q's and p squared, so they're kind of in the right order. This first one, I only see 2 terms. So that's either going to be a difference of squares or common factor. First, always look for common factor. So here, I'm going to take out 3. So I don't have to write the question again. So if you want to, you don't have to write it. You can go straight to the 3 part. I'm going to take out 3 and a p. Remember, this is just rough, so it doesn't have to be super neat. So 7, and I have a q left, minus, and 1p. Yeah.
Do we have to show?
You don't have to show it. Everything on the rough here is optional. I won't mark any of that. So if you want to, you can have gone straight here and gone, you know what? I can see that there's a 3p, and I'm going to take that out right away.
What about the trinomial?
Nope. If you can do it right, and again, the more comfortable you are with it, some people start to just draw the 2 brackets and start to do the crisscross in your head, like you actually do it on your head. And if you just do the crisscross or the decomp here, do it on the side and just bring your answer there. Yep, so that does not need to be shown. Okay. Then on the bottom here, again, 2 terms. I always look for common factor first for everything. I can see the 4, so maybe I'll just do the 4 right here. I'm going to try to do it right on the question. 4p, and we're left with 4. The p came out, so I've got a q. And I took the 4 divided by 4, so it's gone, and a p. Okay, double check. 16pq, 4p squared. Just do a quick double check. Sometimes it's easier to do a double check now than at the end. The division means that I'm going to have to do a restriction on the top and bottom. So sometimes if you like highlighters, I do that and I go, why did I highlight top and bottom? Oh, because I want to look at restrictions for top and bottom at the end. So sometimes it's a visual trigger to say, hey, make sure you restrict top and bottom, right? Because of this division thing. So if you want, you can do that as a kind of a memory aid. And then I'm going to change that to multiplication. And I'm going to flip these guys here, right? So I'm going to switch those around. Okay, so here, that's a trinomial. No common factor, always common factor first. I don't see one. So I'm going to pull this one over here. Again, it can be messy. I try to keep it neat just so you can read my stuff. It's a 12 on the left side, so I'm going to do this, 12. And I can do 3, 4, 1, 12, or 6, 2. And again, you can do decomp otherwise, right? I'm just going to practice this here. I'm going to try 4. Again, like I said last time, you know what, I'm going to try 4 just because I see a 4 there. Maybe it's in the same theme. Maybe it's not, but, you know, that's my wish, is that maybe it's got kind of the same thing. So I'm going to go 4. Yeah, use a different color. So 4. Oh, and you don't even have to do the letters now. I can do the letters later, but 4Q, 3Q, like that. And then the P, I just got a P and a P. There's nothing I can do there. 1 and 1. Right, so it's only 1 and 1. So then that would get me a 4PQ and a 3PQ. Some people don't do the letters, I notice, and that's fine. Just do the numbers and put the letters on when you write it down. So 4 and 3. I look at the sign here. It's plus, so that means it has to be plus, plus, or minus, minus. So I know it's got to be plus 7. So plus, plus. And does that work? Plus, 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 plus here. Double check the sign. If the signs are backwards, like it doesn't work, it's just because these guys are flipped, right? And it's a quick fix. Okay, so we did that before when we did the factoring, and these are my 2 brackets. So I've got 4. Wait, I got to write that up here, right? So stop yourself and go, wait, wait, wait. Other way, right? Other way. We're going to write it this one. That's why I do my arrow here. So you can do a little symbol for yourself to say, wait, remember, I'm going to write 4Q plus P on the top, right? Numerator now. And 3Q plus P here because, right? Because they're switched. Is that good? So that arrow there was just, oh, I looked at it and I went, right. I've got to make sure I switch it. Right? So you can do a little symbol like that just for yourself. Then this one here, and look, they do match, isn't that? Oh, I'm going to be able to cancel that, but not yet, not yet. Okay, here, the 14. Okay, so the 14 I'm going to do, again, I can do 14 and 1 or 7 and 2, but look, I see a 7. So my hopes is maybe 7 and a 2. Right? So that's kind of a hint. These guys are nice because, yeah, I might want you to cancel something. So it's a good little hint. Right? It didn't work all the time. I showed you in the other one. It didn't work all the time, but it's a nice starting point. So then you go, and you kind of go, you know what? I bet you she's going to want me to cancel something. So start with the 7, right? That's my hint here. And then, wait, what else I got? Oh, just P and P. There's nothing else. So cross, so 7PQ, 2PQ. The only way I get 9. So that's a plus. So I know it's plus, plus, or minus, minus. But since that's a minus, I know it has to be the 2 minuses. So they both have to be negative, right? And then that means I'm going to go back here and both columns are negative. The 7PQ and the 2PQ, and you write your bracket like this. Okay, and then I'm going to write that down here. So I'm going to grab this one. So 7Q minus P and 2Q minus P. There we go. So restrictions. So the restrictions, again, you don't have to show all the work. I'm going to show the work, right? Just so that you have something to refer to. So I'm going to do my restrictions here. Again, you don't have to do it this neat. I'm doing it so that you can read my writing, right? Because my rough is kind of part of the notes for you guys. So we're going to grab this. I want to grab the entire denominator of this one, and this one. So I'm just highlighting. You don't have to, but I'm using all of those for my restrictions, all of them. So let's grab the 4P. 4P cannot equal 0. When you have 4P cannot equal 0, you divide both sides by 4. So P cannot equal 0. And again, yes, if you can do that faster, go ahead. Okay? You can circle it. Sometimes you go, oh gosh, I can't find my answer, so just circle it as you're going along. Or highlight. Okay, next one, 4Q plus P cannot equal 0. All right, then we get, oh, I have 2 variables. So you're allowed to choose whichever variable you want to isolate for. Choose one of them and kind of stick to it. So this one I already had P, but there was no choice. Here you have a choice. Either one is fine, as long as you just choose whichever one you want to. It doesn't have to match here. You can have one outlier because it's by itself. And then here, choose. Yes?
When is it when you have to do both?
Never. Oh, separate like this would be like this. So if I had 4PQ, so then that means that's the 4P times the Q. So that's a factor, and that's a factor. It's multiplication. Okay, so then... Okay, here it's 4Q plus P. So that is just one binomial. This is each multiplied. Does that make sense, the difference, right? So it's very visually hard to see that, and people always get that confused. This versus this. This is times, so each one does not equal 0. P does not equal 0. Q does not equal 0. Here, you're taking the binomial. So think binomial and grab the binomial, and then you're just solving. So you're going to isolate for P or Q. Okay? That visually, that's the 2 variable one is hard. Okay? So that's different than this. So this is this case where you have 2. So you're going to isolate for either P or Q. I think in this case, isolating for P is easier because I can just bring that over. And P cannot equal. Bring that over. It becomes minus 4Q. And then settle on that. Say, okay, from now on, I will isolate P's for the other ones, the ones with the 2 variables. Sometimes this one might be a singleton that's sitting by itself, but don't keep going back and forth because then you'll go like, I isolate for P, I isolate for Q. So choose now. That's your favorite, the P. Okay, so I've got that one. I'm going to circle that just so I remember. Now take this one. Next one. Ready? So 7Q minus P cannot equal 0. Isolate for P. Right? How would I get P by itself? Move which one?
You add P on this.
Yeah, I would bring the P over. Like you can bring that over and divide by negative, but do you know what's easier? Look at that. Just bring the P over, it becomes positive, and look, it's done already. I got another one. So I got another restriction. Okay, try another one. This one, 2Q minus P cannot equal 0. And again, since that's negative, how about we bring that one over, and then it saves us a little bit of work, right? So then you go 2Q cannot equal P. And I got another one. All right. Now we go to the top. 4Q plus P cannot equal 0. Right? The numerator here. What are you going to say to that? What are you going to say to that? 4Q plus P cannot equal 0. Sounds familiar, right? Didn't I just do that one? So I did this one already, right? So I already did it here. I don't have to do it again. If it's already there, I already have the answer. How about this one? Did I do that factor? No. So let's do that one then. So 3Q plus P cannot equal 0. Bring the 3Q over. All right, so I circled them. So now grab them all. I got to get this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So many. So I'll write those down at the end. That's for my answer. Okay, so I did step 1, factor. Step 2, restrict. Now step 3 is to simplify and finish it off, right? So we're going to do this. Now, what do we get to cancel? So satisfying. We've got, there's got to be something. The 7, Q minus P, gone. Okay. The 4, yep, the 4Q plus P, also gone. And can I do anything else? No, those binomials are not the same. Okay. Anything else, though? One more thing.
Oh, yeah.
One more thing. Monomials. Don't forget the poor monomials. I told you. We did this in grade 9. You guys have dumped that, and you're like, we're so mature now. I only want binomials. No, don't ignore these guys. If I gave you this in grade 9, right, and I said 3P over 4P, you know what to do. We canceled the P's, and they became 1, right? The P's canceled fully, so then you're left with 3 over 4. Okay, so don't forget your monomials. Okay, so these two here, those are my monomial factors, so we're going to still cancel this P with this P, and they become just 1, it's gone, and you're left with the 3 and the 4. Okay, such a typical mistake. We don't want to do that. You copy it down, you go, yeah, it's beautiful, there's my monomial, and you forget to cancel it. Okay, you're concentrating on the harder part, like the newer part, I mean, the binomials, and you forget the monomials. Okay, so let's write down what's left over. You can write it all in one go. 3, gone, gone, gone. Let's write this one. And remember, this becomes like one line, right? It's all on the top and all on the bottom. So we're going to write 3Q plus P. The 4 is still there. That's gone, that's gone, that's gone. And we've got this, 2Q minus P. Stop here. That's gorgeous. Stop, stop. Right? Don't expand. Don't do anything else. It's gorgeous like that. Factored form. Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Gorgeous. Comma. Let's do our restrictions. So P cannot equal 0. I can just do comma then, because they're all with respect to P. So comma, negative 4Q, comma, 7Q, 2Q, and negative 3Q. If you run out of room, just go down. So we got all of those. So I should get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5 restrictions.
Yeah.
Question? Yep.
We're only restricting for P, no Q.
No, because it's backwards, right? So if you restrict for Q, you would go Q cannot be 1/3 of P, but you already said Q can't be triple, right?
Okay.
So if you were saying don't be triple, he's saying don't be 1/3 of me. It's the same thing. Don't do it both ways. Will you lose marks if you do? Yeah. Like I'll have to take communication marks off because you're being redundant. You're saying don't be 2, don't be 2, don't be 2, and don't be 2. So I'll be like, your storyline is lacking a little, substance. So you're going to lose a little bit of marks, okay? It's just repetitive, so don't repeat. All right, we're good? Questions?